Hello everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast. Question and answer with all three of us. And Decker, put your phone down, man.
Sorry.
What am I doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, I'm doing your bit.
Questions and answers.
Oh, yeah.
Start again.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, start again.
Just start again.
Eh?
Go on.
Who do you think you are, Steve Bruce?
Right, we'll just put a black screen up now. Start again.
Don't want to do it.
Does he know this is happening? Or?
Sure? Alright, well, I'm not doing it. So, questions.
You can't start.
Yes, I can. 100%. So, Neil J.R. sends in. On a scale from Rafa to Bruce, how fucked are we this season?
On a scale of what? Rafa to Steve Bruce?
Yeah, how fucked are we?
Which is 1 and which is 10?
So, Rafa's 10, Bruce is 0. It's the shape of a 0. I think we're about 3 at the minute.
I'm going to be optimistic and say we're at a 5.
Jesus, I mean, hit hard. We're like just hit halfway.
Yeah, I'd say 3.
3. I'm going 3. Jesus, man.
What would it take to get to 0? That's what probably people are thinking.
Carver.
There's people think that. Yeah. There's people who think we're there, man.
Oh, actually, like keeping Redfern and Ben Watson in.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
Can you?
I don't know.
What, worse than? They're not worse than Bruce. I'm sorry, like.
0 would be Mike Ashley appointing himself as manager.
They might have had. I think they might have some young,
paying himself more than billionaires.
Right.
So, yeah. Next one he sends in. How many players do you think we will realistically bring in, and in what positions? So, as we've been recording, apparently Joelinton. I don't know how you say his name. I'm just going to go with Joelinton. I'm just going to go with that. So apparently he's arrived in Newcastle. He's in the city centre. I don't know how true that is, but he's in the city centre. And if he's in the city centre, that means he's getting his photos done.
He's in the old George on the cans.
Cans. Hashtag cans.
Hashtag
so that's one.
Cans.
Big
that's
money,
one.
Man. It's surprising.
So 40 million or thereabouts.
Fucking hell, man.
40 million pounds.
There's a straight. Well,
we broke a record twice in the space of 6 months, and it's took them 10 years or 12 years to do that.
Let's remember we've just sold Perez for 30 million. Let's remember that.
But
so it's 10 million
for 35. I just
we haven't reinvested.
Gans on forever.
We still haven't replaced Demar Ballman.
He's still paid he's paid money that I never ever thought he would pay. Ever. Forget that you've just sold Perez for 30 million. Jesus, man.
Well, he hasn't yet, has he?
Well,
it's over 4 years.
It's over 4 years. Well, Perez will be over the same. Sissoko's is the same. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just surprised. I know people are going to go, well, it's just money we've already gotten, we've got coming in. I fucking know that much thick. I know that. I'm just saying, I'm surprised that he's actually bought a player.
Spend it.
Aye. Yeah. That's the point I'm making. And now we've got all the money in the world.
And do you know what's annoyed me? I've just thought about it now. He wanted a manager with Premier League experience. And now he's just going to spend 40 million on a player that hasn't got any Premier League experience. What's up, like? Well, you can't pick and choose. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, maybe. I still. But the
what he wanted was a Premier League manager that had a Premier League experience of finishing 4th and 5th bottom.
All right,
and keeping you up.
But was it not Van Bronckhorst that wanted the job? Apparently, he wanted it, and he wouldn't give him it because he didn't have a Premier League experience.
Yeah,
you can't just pick and choose. Then I'd rather Van Bronckhorst than Bruce. If I'm being honest.
Suppose there's not many strikers you could buy. Another thing that people were saying as well, like similar story, was like buy someone that's proven and all the rest of it, but.
You don't get proven strikers of that age for £40 million.
So I'll get this one out of the bag now. So why do you think? Why is no Premier League club took him? Why did Wolves pull out? Why did West Ham?
He's only 22, isn't he? Is he 22?
No, I mean fucking Rondon, man.
Oh, Rondon.
So why is no Premier League? Wolves pulled out and so did West Ham. So why?
I don't know.
Because he went for Chinese money.
He went for $1. The dollar.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't. I'm not saying I blame him.
He's at the later stage of his careers. He's going to make more in this 2 years than he's made in his career to date.
What annoys me is that this deal wasn't done way back when in January, so he didn't even have a choice to go to China. He was going to be a Newcastle United player in the
exactly.
That's what annoys me.
That's what should have happened.
Yeah,
I would pay whatever it was.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I find it
16 million quid. It's now.
Well, it isn't. But if he wants 180 grand a week, it is for 4 years.
True.
That's what, because that from what I'd heard, he wanted way over 100 grand and he wanted a 3 to 4 year deal. Now, obviously, it's very easy for fans to say, well, he's been amazing for a while, no one should sign him. But
we
don't know what his demands are.
He's not getting that at any club, is he?
He is,
China.
Well, but that's why Wolves pulled out. It's financially not beneficial for us to get him. Wolves did.
Yeah.
Jesus. So he must have been wanting big money, and that's fine. He's entitled to it, whatever he wants. It's fine. But what I meant, is it's easy to look at it now and go, yeah, you should get him because he had very, very good. Kennedy's the same situation. Yeah. We that season when Kennedy came on loan, he was unreal. and we could have paid 25 million for him and give him 150 grand a week, what would we be now? Would he want him?
Yeah.
Would he want him? We wouldn't have wanted him. So I appreciate. I do want him, and I wish he was here. But have to try.
So that's one in. That's one striker in. What are their positions?
So I seen in the sky the day was midfield, 2 midfielders and full backs. They're the ones that go.
We need a winger. 100% think we need a winner. Not a winner.
A winner?
We need a winner as well.
Left or right?
A winger. So Almiron's on the left, so right.
So
We're definitely
So
are
you're
you
replacing
talking
Perez.
more inside left,
No.
inside right?
So I'm saying the likes of Joelinton is replacing Rondon. We still need someone to replace Perez.
That beggars the question, but do it, because that beggars the question of what formation are we actually going to be playing moving forward.
We need to stick to the formation that we were playing last year.
Well, I had read again.
But will we?
Off
We're
me
bringing in
Steve
we're bringing in a
What do you
completely
do?
different manager,
But he said
different formation, different way of playing.
he was one of the first to play 3-5-2. And not in world football. Jesus Christ! Don't say it. People say, "Oh, first one ever." No,
on FIFA.
he was.
What about this fella and this fella and this fella?
Aye, the world straight away. Bang! He did it in the 70s.
1944.
Yeah, Uruguay won the World Cup with that formation. What I mean is like he was one of the beginners. He quite likes 3-5-2, so there's a chance that we might stay with that formation, which I hope we do, because you know how much I like it. And for me personally, if you want to get the best out of Longstaff and Shelby, you've got to play 3 in the middle.
Yeah.
You can't just play them 2.
Said that.
So if you can get 3 in the middle, and obviously 2 of them are them 2, I think you'd be alright. But
So
anyway,
are we in the position where we're keeping the likes of Gale and Mudu?
I would. I'm watching that'll
I'd keep
happen.
Muto. Gale could possibly go if somebody else comes
So you would
in.
rather have Mutu than Gale?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't. No way. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know. I really don't know.
So this lad that we're signing, right? I've also heard that he wasn't an out-and-out striker. I heard that he's played number 10 quite a lot. So
Well, he's played out on the wing. He's played number 10. He's played up
And
front.
then
He's
I've also
just
heard-
a front player.
Charlie Austin has been linked heavily. He's chopped with the under 23s for Southampton. He's not even allowed to train with the first team. So for 7 million, they reckon he's going for.
Charlie Austin wants to stay in London. He's always said that
He
he's
might
had the
do.
opportunity to come
He
up
might.
here before, and he's point blank refused to do it.
But-
So I think he's made it public before though that
I didn't think
he wants
London-
to stay down there,
he
and
might.
there will be a club, even if it's a championship club, he'll go. I don't think we'll sign.
Would you
Charlie
take him for
Austin.
7 million?
Nah.
I would. 100%.
Nah, I don't rate him. I think if we're taking the likes of Charlie Austin, we might as well take the likes of Shane Long, like all them lot. They're all in the same little category for me.
Austin scored about 10
Three
goals. That's
3
Long
year ago,
scored
3 year ago, I would have taken them. I would have.
You
But
take
now,
him just so you can't
No.
score against me.
Well, I could wear an Austin 316 t-shirt then, no? No, I'm just joking.
I
would take him.
I just think we should. He's got no selling. If we're looking at players for selling, Charlie Austin
Well, yeah, but-
hasn't got a single one.
I appreciate that, but 16.5 million, 7 million, there's a difference. There is a difference.
I think there's probably someone out there that for a similar
If
price.
Jossel's 5 million, if we
Yeah.
paid 5 million for him, I think 7 million for Jossel's not bad. Like.
Do you think Austin's much better than Joselu?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He scored not every game, sorry. Of course
He had a good run.
but he certainly
he had
scored
a
a
good
few
run.
goals, and he's a decent player. Man, he's a decent player.
When
Injuries
when
worry
he's
us.
when
Injuries
he's
worry
when
us.
he's played for Southampton the last few times and he's came to here, I was always wary of him coming on because of his record against it, but he's always looked terrible.
Not many players have looked good, I think, against us. I'm maybe biased.
obviously
Last
not.
season.
Nah, dude.
No, last season.
I thought Aubameyang looked the fucking worst.
So rumours of Dubravka going.
That's a worry.
That's a massive worry for
Why
me.
wasn't he in nets on fucking another game? Like?
He wasn't in the squad, but he's there. The lad that sits down is like, where is he? Why is Dubravka not going to China? Obviously he's there. He's not. Is he? I've literally seen a photo of him training
Why
in China.
wasn't he in goal?
He's definitely there.
He's not getting. Why risk him?
Right, let's be honest. If
It's
why
not like
fucking gone?
it's not like he needs
Why
to
have the
get in
tournament?
because he's going to train and
let's
be
be
amongst
honest,
the team
right?
and get his fitness up, isn't
If Dubravka is going, we're asking for mega money for him. I'll tell you
Dubravka's
that
gonna need
because he's irreplaceable for the money we bought him for. Irreplaceable.
Well, he looked Darlow's performance the other day.
Exactly.
He's got need it.
And you're not going to stick Woodman in there, so you're looking at bringing another keeper in.
Well, they want
And
to
we're
shift.
not- we're not
They
gonna
want
get
to
a
shift
keeper.
Darlow out, don't they? They want to shift Darlow out. They want to
course.
shift Elliot out and bring another.
I don't think
third in.
we'll ship Elliot out. I think we'll probably let his contract run out, and I think he'll stay at the club as some form of coach. I don't think Elliot will go to another club.
Well, who knows?
I don't think he will. I think the money that we're going to take is probably off Darlow going. And it's not going to be much. But
Leeds were linked, weren't they? At one point, but I don't know if they wanted to. He wanted too much
especially with
money.
the press that he's had over the last 24 hours.
I can't see him going on loan to a championship
off.
team or something like that.
I think I jumped the gun a bit there. What I said about Dubravka, I thought it's a worry that I'd heard that he was unsettled and stuff. Whether or not that's just bullshit.
But when there's always a player linked with someone else, they're always unsettled on. I think it's just an easy title to put on it. Yeah. Do you not think?
Well, I suppose he probably was unsettled in a way. Everyone
was
because of the situation. You know
I was unsettled.
Aye. So let's hope he doesn't go. We desperately need to keep the gems of that team. We've lost 2 of them. Let's be fair. We've lost Rondon and Perez. As much as I'm certainly not trying to have a go at Rondon. What I'm just saying is we've lost Rondon and Perez. We cannot afford to lose your Shaws and your.
I think we'll lose one defender. You know, I think we'll lose one of the centre backs.
Kieran Clark.
So I think it's going to be one of the 4 between the likes of Fernandez, Lascelles, Shaw, and Lejeune.
Fernandez
it's going to be one of those 4.
Fernandez has been putting out some strange tweets of late, hasn't he?
Well, he said it again, didn't
honest tweets. That's what he's been putting out.
He'll be away. And I know for a fact that Derby are after Kieran Clark and Murphy. I know for a fact. So
I can see Clark's getting anywhere near the team, is he really?
No. Do you know what it is though? He came in last year. I remember it was at Burnley away. He came in. They gave him captain. I'm sure he was captain or something. He scored. And I don't know. I just feel there's certain players. It depends on what you can get for them money wise, but. If Clark stayed, he's on a low wage. He can come in and do a job if he's required to. Well, what's he on like? He's not on 50 grand. He got 40.
Think about it. He was Aston Villa captain when we signed him.
Thank you. Who's captain? He got to Real Madrid. He wasn't on more.
Let's remember, Lazar is on the same wage as Paul Dummett,
which is
it's around 35 grand in it.
That's shocking. Shocking, you know. He shit him. That's terrible.
Did well for Sheffield Wednesday under Steve Bruce last season.
Jesus. Next one.
As did Rolando Aarons.
Shane Saunders sends in, is this just a horrible collective dream? And we're all about to wake up.
I fucking hope so.
We're awake.
It's not. I'm sorry, Shane, but this is it. This is reality right now. We're back to where things were before Benitez, let's be honest. Benitez, that was 3 seasons away from all the shite, and now we're back in it.
Wish it was a fucking dream.
Yeah, it's
Would it be a shit one, wouldn't it?
So, next one is Daryl Mitchell-Hill. He sends in. Not saying... Oh, hang on. Wait there. He's sending another one before that. No, he hasn't. Daryl will come back to you.
This is where he starts reading out tweets from 3 months ago.
So, not saying they look bad, but how nice will those black painted walls look after the Seagulls have shit all over them?
That's exactly what I said. No, I actually think they'll look really good, but that is right. Because the bird shit's just going to be all over.
So, surely it would be cheaper to jet wash them than paint them all.
Well, do you know... Can I be really honest here as well?
Doesn't it?
I will be honest here. I'll probably get shot for this now. Loads of times, you know, truthfully, I've been at work and my office window's there, as yours is, Mark, and I've looked out the window and there has been people cleaning the walls. I'm going back years here.
Yeah.
People have been there jet washing the walls. Like, it has actually been done at some point.
It gets done.
It does get done. I've watched it. Haven't.
Yeah.
Obviously, painting it black, I think it'll look really nice from the bits that I've seen. I think it'll look great. But I
think it looks.
That's a lot of fucking paint if you're painting the full stadium black. I'll tell you that.
It is, isn't it? You're right. It's a lot of paint. Like, it's a big job. Like, and I love that. I have to be honest. I really like the front entrance. I really do. I think it looks really good.
It does look fantastic. The words and stuff on it are great, but it just feels very hollow at the moment, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah, it really
but
does.
You know, if things had been different now, had Rafa have signed and stayed on, had we've then gone on and signed Rondon, even if Rondon didn't sign him, we've gone on and signed Joelinton, people would be in a completely different situation, in a different mindset than they are now.
What do you think it would be? Let's say Rafa had stayed and Joelinton's coming in, all the rest of it. I would have to say improvements are happening in the ground. What do you think people's opinions would be then? Or like would they be buzzing?
It wouldn't get mentioned.
But
because they'd go, oh, it's about time he's invested.
It's
money.
because everything's happened in quick succession. What hasn't happened is the takeover rumours. That's the reason why this anger is happening. Obviously, I would probably say about 80% of fans were confident that something was happening with this takeover.
Well, it's the first time I was bitten by it.
We didn't hear anything from the club, and obviously all the links, they were good. It was only good news that we're getting
released direct from them.
But then you put on the back of that, nothing's happened with the takeover. Rafa's gone, Rondon's gone, Perez is gone. Everything's just got together and just went boom.
Again, I think even
then we're broke bruising.
had Rafa have stayed, I still think Perez would have went.
Yes, that's.
I agree.
True, yeah.
I said that. It doesn't matter who was manager this season. Perez was always going. I said it 2 seasons ago. I was surprised he didn't go last season. I thought he would have went.
His
But
agent's obviously been setting him up.
He's been
setting
there
him
for
up
5
for a
years.
move because
Yes, but as you're saying though, he might have been going no matter who was in charge. His
Yeah,
dad
of
could have been
course
in
he
charge.
was.
But it's the knock-on effect, isn't it, of losing Rafa, you lose Rondon, you losing Perez. It's just another blow. You just take another punch. You just take another punch.
It's just you're putting things on the scales. Sooner or later, it's gonna topple over.
And I understand that. I really do. I totally understand that.
Then you put Steve Bruce on the scales and it just goes.
Yeah, well,
But that's it. No matter how many times you get hit, you've got to get back up. As hard as it might be and as difficult it might be, you've got to drag yourself up and get on with it.
So on the back of the black paint, Max, who is at Sibley Almiron, he sends in, what do you think of the improvements made to St James's Park? So, reception-wise, Millburn reception, unbelievable.
Reception looks fantastic. Look, it
looks nice. It looks really
started
nice.
last season, didn't it, in the players' tunnel and in that general area around.
So we haven't seen
there
a finished product in the
stuff
players'
like
tunnel
that.
because the walls were just painted black.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
There's murals of ex-players and club legends going on that one. So I haven't seen the end product on that one. But yeah, the old Millburn reception, as much as the words are lies that are on the steps, it looks nice.
Well, they're not from our point of view. If a fan, as fans, if we were to put words about what we feel about the club, and that kind of thing, them words are fantastic.
Well, I wouldn't say we are ready,
but
I'll tell you that.
I think it means we're ready to, to be united, to fight, to.
You were right in what you said though. You were right. They're hollow.
They're hollow at the minute because we're hurting. We're hurting
of course
with the situation.
Apparently, the words on the steps. I remember the promo that happened a few years back.
From
Of all the players walking
yes.
to the ground.
Yeah.
Apparently, the words off that one.
Right.
And I thought that advert was amazing. Absolutely brilliant.
I told them about that idea.
I do.
Bastards.
I do like it. Honestly, I do. And the paint in the ground, I think it'll look really nice when it's finished. I really do. Obviously, they took Newcastle United off today, didn't they? So
that was yes.
No,
yesterday
but there's
or
people
the day
kicking
before.
off about that. I was like, of course, we're going to take it off. It's black.
Kind of paint around it.
You can't go black on black.
They'll be putting it back on as new one.
Yeah,
They'll be white or
they'll be
grey or
getting new
something like
signs, or they'll just be painting them ones white.
Yeah. No,
That's all that's happening.
Yeah. It's
I
it
think
surprises.
it'll look-
It
it'll look
surprises.
nice.
It really surprises that he's done anything.
You don't
And he's ripped all of the
expect
posh
money
out.
to be spent on improving the look
What
of the
annoys
ground.
you is those fans saying that's going to make us renew my season ticket. This was planned way back.
I know.
This was planned months and months and months ago.
What makes you renew your season ticket is what you're going to be potentially seeing on the
Like-
pitch and the results and hope.
Mike Ashley hasn't looked at the things and went, 7,000 season tickets down. Paying them steps.
that's going to get them back.
That's never gone through his head. This has been planned. This has already been paid for. This is just maintenance and
But people are thick, man.
and refurbishment of the ground. That was always happening.
I haven't got a clue.
We as fans should take it as a victory that, hold on a minute, he's actually listened for a change to all of the comments that have been said about how bad the outside of the stadium looks. It's looking run down, need to improve it. The inside of the ground could do with a lick of paint and make things look a bit better. It's happened.
Do you know what I hope they have changed and removed? Sam Allardyce's wooden little plaque. Do you know where Sam Allardyce used to sit? Do you know I used to sit in like up at the top for the first half
Aye.
and start watching it? Do you know that little plaque with the screens was still there?
Oh, well, that's because that's
But
where...
it was just a wooden board. There was no TV on it anymore.
Charlie sits and...
No, he's got one screen. He's got one, but there's two. There's a wooden one that's just got nothing on it.
God knows. But as he's saying though, like it's they are trying to make improvements. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I can probably say well, it's about time. But as Mark's saying, take the victory of we've cried and pissed and moaned. We've also cried we haven't broke a transfer window ever, and we've done it twice in 6 months. So are we getting through? Is something working? I don't know. But because Rafa's gone, none of it matters. Because obviously.
So next one, Jack sends in. He sends in. What do you all get when you go to Zapistas? Do you know what? I've never been.
Zapatistas.
Zapatistas.
I've
never been.
I get a burrito
That's all they're selling.
with I do fajitas, nachos,
Like
I
Mexican,
think I've been once before. I think.
I get, it depends, I either get spicy beef or chicken, and I get red rice, which is the tomato one,
Do Jesus Christ, how many you got on your list?
I'm trying to remember getting along the count.
No, you only wanted one. You've done about 5
Oh no,
orders.
this is the full order. This.
Oh no, what do you want? What?
This is the because you've got to choose all your fillings as
You
you
get
go along.
spicy beef and chicken.
It's a fucking beast.
Or
All right, okay.
depending on what I get. Even I've had the pulled.
So
Just tell us
basically-
what sort of fucking
You
burrito you get.
basically go and say one of everything.
It's a bit like Subway. Now when you get to Subway,
Yeah.
and you've got to choose. So you choose your wrap. You then choose your meat.
Your app.
You then choose whether you want peppers or beans. You choose normal rice or spicy rice. Your salsa. There's 4 different salsas.
Right, I'm bored of you. I'm
And
bored.
then your veg. If you want lettuce, guacamole, sour cream.
Mate, I just told you I'm bored.
Who said that in?
You're literally putting us off food here. You're actually putting us off food.
Remember that time we went to him?
Oh
Like,
my
vegan
God.
thing. What restaurant was it? What's that other one? That other chain Mexican?
Chiquitos.
Aye. We went there, right? And it was like a burrito for like 3 quid or something.
£5
Like that.
fiver. Yeah.
So we got one, right? And we polished it off. And the woman came out and just for a joke, she said, "Do you just want another one?" And like, we looked at each other and we go,
Aye.
"Shall we get
I
another
went,
one?"
and she was like, "Really?" I was like, "I actually it was lush that like."
Well, see, well, it's a £5 for a burrito and Zapista. It's massive. About that big.
So Jody Armand sends in.
Oh, it's my mate. That.
Aye.
Ash, aye.
He sends in.
Be having a go at me probably.
Oh shit, we've got another scale. Where are you now on the 0 to 100 takeover confidence scale? I'm about 3.
Well, I
We've just in a roundabout we answered.
I replied back to him saying, "Is there a minus on your scale?"
I'm like about 3.
The scale's in centigrade and we're in Fahrenheit.
I have to say, Ashfaq, you were right all along. Ashfaq, every day I went into work, he was going, "You're still believing in this shit?" Every day, and yeah, I did.
Even I felt
Why are we getting another food question? Dom sends in Subway order. So I don't want to know what fucking salad you're having on it, right? Just tell us what you're having.
So I had one yesterday. It was actually an Italian BMT salad.
I'd always go for meatball.
No, steak and cheese. But what I'm eating now, I don't eat that anymore. But that's what I would normally get.
I think I've had Slim in the world.
I am, yes. 18 pounds I've lost so far.
Aye, that Italian BMT.
Oh my gosh, he's just lost 40
meatball
million.
marinara.
But he's still shite, doesn't matter.
They stopped doing spicy cheese.
I don't get cheese on my food anymore.
You've changed.
I really have changed. I really
When
have
no
changed.
young's in the world, stop telling you about what you
Yeah.
don't have anymore.
He said that, especially I didn't have anymore.
So he's like used to be on heroin or something.
Doesn't stop him having the shawarmas
I'm
at
off the
work.
cheese. I'm off the cheese. So Robin sends in, what do you make of Joelinton from Hoffenheim? Some people
Is that
say
his full title, is it?
Yep.
Joelinton
like-
from Hoffenheim.
That Van Gogh link like that. He said that some people say he's not good enough. But in my point of view,
People that say that have never seen
oh,
him play.
let him finish his question. But in my point of view, Rondon didn't score that much. Right, so he's in. Say, I'll translate it. So he says
Alan, what do
Rondon
you
didn't
think
score
about
that many goals for West Ham.
West Ham.
I think we need to give him a chance.
Do you mean West Brom?
West Brom, shit. Did I say West Ham? West Brom. So yeah,
People just want to.
you've got to give him a chance. We've been too quick to criticise players. I said on the previous podcast, Tovin, Cabela, Yang and Biwa, they're all decent players.
You
Let's
can't
be honest.
write players off before they've even pulled on the shirt and played a game.
Apart from Jacob Murphy. I'll get it in before you do, mate.
It's probably the only one I have said it about. No, I agree. I mean, come on. Like, we need to fight fair a little bit here. Like, at the end of the day, we're bringing in a signing that is it's money that I never ever thought we'd spend in a window, man.
Yeah.
Let alone on one player.
Look, just
so
go-
you have
You're
to
paying
give the guy a
potential, aren't you?
chance.
You're paying
Go back,
potential.
go back 8 months. How many of these people that are slating for signing Joelinton had ever heard of Almiron?
That's true.
How many people had heard of him and thought that he was and thought that he was worth £20 million? None of them.
Joelinton.
Joelinton.
Just the way you said it. He's gone.
But
No.
it's the same.
I agree with you.
They weren't slagging off Almiron when we signed him in January, were they? Saying, I've never heard of him. He only plays in America. He's only
some of them
scored
were, some
of them were.
once in 18 years. Give the lad a chance.
No, I totally agree with
You know what it is? Any other time, we go and spend 40 million euros or 40 million pound on a striker, bring him in. Oh, he's the world's greatest. Give him the number 9. I can't wait to see it. That's what would be going on.
Oh, he's going to get
Because
number
it's
9,
the
isn't he?
Probably.
He
Yeah.
will do. I think there's a question in about
Was
that.
it? Alright.
If he doesn't,
So Graham Milton sends in, what's the point in supporting Newcastle United? Do you know what?
What's the point? It's because
you can't not.
You're born into it. You're brought up to support Newcastle United. If you want to turn your back on Newcastle United, do it. But then don't sit there bitching and moaning on about the results or the players that we've signed or the manager. If you don't care, if you don't support Newcastle anymore, stop commenting on it.
I thought I was
He's
going
right.
to end it like it.
He's right. Yeah, he's right.
So Max, another. Oh no, we read that one. So Josh,
Go on, son.
he's off again. He's off again. Fucking hell.
People might say this, right? But you look down, deep down inside of you, and no matter how bad you feel about this situation, about the way Ashley's treated the club, about the fact that Rafa's gone, about the fact that Bruce came in, you've still got to, within your heart of hearts, you've still got Newcastle in there, in that you've got to have that appreciation. And it doesn't matter how bad things are and how shit it is there, you've still got that love for the club. I couldn't care less that Ashley is there, because he's not important for me. I don't go to that I don't support Mike Ashley. I support Newcastle.
I'm going to think
that is what I care about.
Right? And obviously, we've all got kids, right? And I'm at the point now where Nolan's just turned 5, so he's starting to like talk a lot about more conversations about other things in life rather than just shit that he's interested in. And he talks about Newcastle quite a lot. So like when he puts his Newcastle pyjamas on, he's like, "Dad, I wear my Newcastle pyjamas." And he's like, "My friend at school is a Sunderland fan, and he got wrong at school the other day because he called him a monkey macam." Right? I swear to God, he called him a monkey macam. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, how he calls his gran that as well.
Aye, Sammy's like,
Could have been real problem.
you need to stop telling that. I was like, it could have turned out a lot worse.
God.
But
Could have turned in a decade.
but he loves it. Like just his pajamas, and like he goes to football training on a Sunday morning. He always wants to wear his Newcastle shirt, and he's like, "Dad, like I want to wear like that top and that top." And he had a meltdown because I couldn't find his Newcastle shorts, and I could only just find black shorts. And he's like, "I don't want to wear them. I want to wear my Newcastle shorts." And like, he's at the point now where he's starting to love this club.
Yeah.
He's starting to be what I used to be like, what we used to be like as kids. And
that is,
you can't stop that.
That is what that's what's inside of you, and that is what keeps pulling you back and keeps that attachment to the club, regardless of who's sitting up there in the ivory tower looking after the keys to the stadium or whatever. Yes, he might be the owner, but this is still our club. He might own it, but it's still our club. And as long as I've got breath in my body, I cannot give up on them. And people can say that I'm part of the problem and that I'm supporting it, because yes, I will support Newcastle until the day I die.
Well, it doesn't matter if you're in the ground or outside the ground. We're all in the same boat.
It was about when Rafa had left. I had about a 2 week, maybe a bit longer, where I was really low. Like
fuck it.
I was good.
I was at about that level. And then I don't know. Again, maybe what he's saying. I just come back round again, and I was like, right, okay, it is shit, but it's still.
And that's it. And you can choose to wallow in that self pity of it's the end of the world. Things are never going to get better. We're not going to move on for it. Or you can say, well, fuck it. It's what we've got. It's all we're going to do. We've just got to get on with it.
No, I agree. So, Geordie Ridley sends in, how many players do we need to sign to have any hope of a good season? And what would count as a successful season for Bruce? Right, I'll start. So last season I said we're only about three players away from having a decent team. That was keeping Perez and Rondon. Those are gone. So we're now 5 players away from having a decent team. Well, maybe with Rafa was getting a lot more out of this squad than what I think a lot of managers can do, just solely defensive wise. Rafa wanted players that could graft. It doesn't matter if they're scoring goals at the other side of the pitch. He wanted them to do their job. Probably the reason why Mitrovic didn't have a chance at the club, because he wasn't doing exactly what Benitez wanted him to do.
You can say that for a lot of players that just didn't play the way he wanted them to play, or listen to what he wanted.
I think
them
that's
to
the
do
one.
and
It's
stuff
not
like
necessarily working hard and tracking back on that. It's just listening to your job.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a job, and I need you to follow it through. And
I don't. The squad's a decent squad.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it. There was a few. Kev Nicol. Kev. Mm-hmm. He put some great things on the day. And a lot of people kept commenting back saying we've got a championship team, we've got a championship squad, constantly saying it, and he was like, no, like that doesn't wash with me anymore. Like he named like 8 players that are absolutely not championship standard. Like we're not a champion. We're not.
I'd go back to what I said.
There's none of them backfire that championship
last season. Is that we've got a good starting 11. We've got a strong starting 11 with good players in there. Once you get beyond that, that's that's when we then look to struggle.
I would say at present, I would say we've got an okay 7 or 8 out of 11 because we don't have any strikers at the moment, and Perez is gone. So you've probably got 7 or 8 decent-ish players that I would say are Premier League quality. Can't tell me in midfield Richie, Longstaff, Shelby's, your defence as you mentioned, my goalkeeper. You know, there's some good players there. If this kid comes in, which it looks like he certainly is going to, bang. You're not paying £40 million for a championship player, so this guy has to be a Premier League quality player.
Has to be.
But going back to the question,
we can't afford for him not to be.
My biggest worry is you've got Rondon, Perez, Diarmi's gone, Hayden probably will leave.
I'm surprised that he's still there.
You've got to get 4 or 5 players in just to stand still. That's me only worry with it a bit.
Yeah.
And I feel...
But that stands still with Benitez and George.
Well, that's very true, yes. So I think you need maybe 6, 7.
Yeah.
That's squad wise.
Yeah, and can we do that in the time that's left? Going back to your
experience, 2.5, 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
It's not long, is it?
3 weeks.
Don't get us wrong. They might have had irons in the fire well before now. And that,
you're hoping that's lined up.
And you're hoping that they come thick and fast. But if they don't, you're looking for 7 players in 2 weeks nearly. We're very slow, as we've discussed many times. We're slow.
We've did it before.
We did it in that January window when we went mental.
We bought 4 in like a day.
Yeah. Now again though, the other issue you've got is I don't want them just to bring in just bodies. Yeah. You know, we did that. What was the kid we got from Monaco recently? Left back. What was he called again?
Oh, Baraka.
Yes. I mean, you're bringing somebody in that literally is just carrying the kit. Yeah. Like, there's no point in that, is there? Yeah, I know it's a body, but it's not helping you. If you're going to bring in 7 players, can we bring in 7 players that are actually generally going to make a difference to the squad? That's $1 million question, I guess.
So, Geordie also sends in, who would win in a pie eating contest? Rafa, Bruce, or Mark?
What kind of pie we're talking?
Typically.
Wow.
What sauce has it got on it?
Oh, what toppings am I getting on it? Bruce all day long. You can eat though.
Bruce would, I reckon Bruce.
But you can eat.
Yeah.
I like a steak and kidney pie.
Lush.
He also sends in the second question, from which he's stolen from Twitter apparently. If Bruce had replaced McLaren, would people think he was that bad a choice? Considering our previous managers had been Kinnear, Shearer, Houghton, Pardew, Carver and McLaren. No, he would have just been that steady path.
Like we said in the last podcast, Bruce is the type of manager we would have normally have gone after and would expect Ashley to be approaching.
Yeah, because my honest opinion with it, is, and again, I'll probably get wrong for this, but if you think of every appointment that he's made, I think he's probably second best probably on the list that he's made appointments.
Oh yeah, that'd be like.
Well, I take that back.
Apart from Barca.
I would. Well, that's what I'm saying. Second, so Rafa's first.
Right.
I'd actually probably have to say Keegan because just of what it is.
Yeah, fans.
So sorry, Keegan would be there, but
he gave in to fans on that one.
Yes, McLaren is. Sorry, apologise. Bruce is not as bad as some of the other ones that we've had. Do you know what I mean? He's not as bad as Carver, Kinnear, Shearer. I mean, Shearer wasn't even a manager, bless him. You know what I mean? He wasn't, and that's no disrespect to him, but he was.
Pardew was a gamble.
Huge gamble.
That paid off at first, and then
really did.
Shearer was given a job which he couldn't win. Same as what Benitez was when we were already on the path of relegation. Yeah. I think if Shearer had remained manager in the Championship season, then we would have had probably just as good a season as what we did.
Could it?
Maybe. We would never know.
You don't know, do you?
No.
But maybe
we'll never know. But I've just said in the previous podcast that I wanted a young manager, upcoming manager with a bit of fire in the belly. Shearer was that manager at that time.
Yeah. He was. It
doesn't fit the narrative of the club to go out and get somebody that's young and exciting that might have new ideas. Does it?
This honestly, to me, I've got a few Man United fans, right? This reminds me of Ferguson to Moyes. Like
I don't know, like because Moyes went.
What about Jose or Sosa? Fuck me, Sosa. He's very good with Cardiff, man. And you went from Mourinho to that.
But again, that's bringing in
a
an
shout,
ex-player and
That's
stuff
what
like that.
I said.
That's a shout.
It didn't
What
happen.
league was he managing in? Like
Big gamble
some
bringing in.
random league.
Well,
It's like Swedish or
it's
something.
not like
Norwegian,
it's not like it went particularly well, though, has it?
Well, it started.
That's all
It did at the start.
What
and then the
I'm
wheels fell
saying
off.
is just, forget about what's happening. For Man United to go from Jose Mourinho to him, Jesus.
Well, he only came in just to tide it over, didn't he? Him and
So
Tim and
next one,
Giggs.
we'll fire through the rest of these. We've got a few. So Liam sends in, do you think we potentially could be the next Blackpool? No, I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think it will.
You know, that's the fear for me of like we talked about again earlier about we.
Some fans want it,
It could be we could do with something. It's very easy.
Do
for
you
that
think
to
it would
happen.
ever happen? I honestly, hand on heart, never ever happen.
When you say that, how do you think I actually wouldn't allow it? Do you mean?
No, I don't think it's anything to do. Actually, I think the fans will just keep on turning up.
But even
if the fans are turning up,
But
it
the
doesn't
only
mean
way
that
we're ever going to end up like someone like Blackpool is if it actually sells to someone that's worse than him.
Or do you mean as in
Like
the
just-
fans not going and boycotting it? Do you mean?
No, I'm just thinking the way I'm reading that question is just being in the shit as a club.
Right, I
Not
thought.
fans turn against Blackpool.
Well, because with Blackpool they totally didn't turn.
Oh,
didn't
totally.
they?
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Oh, God, no.
Like both ways. I don't think financially we'll ever be in the same position what Blackpool in, and I don't think as in protest wise we'll ever be, because it takes a lot less for Blackpool to fill their stadium than what it does for us.
Well, they've only got 20
Exactly.
odd thousand in it.
The Blackpool situation. If you're talking about not turning up, the reason why I know that'll never happen is because where I sit, I'm not joking here. Maybe 3/4 of where I sit, they're all just people that are working here for the weekend, or they're here for a stag do. The amount of Germans and Polish and that come in, they've haven't got a clue where they're sitting. They've just got their ticket.
Brexit will put a pin in that.
They've sat on my table and they're like, I'm just here for the weekend on a job. We've come over with my mates. It's 25 of them.
Liverpool fans.
You'll never stop that. You'll never. I had an American sit next to us the other week. Like you're never going to stop that. So there's
Did
never.
you not want to buy the club?
No, I asked him. So like you'll never have a total boycott because there's going to be fans there that really don't even support it. They're just there for the day out.
So next one, Nathan sends in, how do you all see the summer going? Do you think we'll get what we need, and what would you class as a good transfer window? I think money spent, we're all going to have a good transfer window. I think this is going to be the most money we'll ever spend. And I think that's just solely down to Ashley trying to think, shit, Rafa's gone, let's spend some money.
I agree.
Which is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
But let's flip it back over, and we had this one on McLaren, and that didn't end well.
Exactly.
No, I did. But answering the question, transfer window, is it going to be good? I think
Yeah,
yes.
100%,
I actually do.
I do.
Whether or not that's going to be
Well,
enough, that's a
the
different
talk
question.
is the 90 odd million pound there to spend, isn't it?
I think we'll spend it, every single penny. I think we'll spend.
I said it just before we press record that this is, I think, is the first signing that's been done in instalments. Now, Ashley's always been about doing it up front. So if he's changed his motto on that a little bit, you might find we will spend big money this over this summer.
And again, is like
Maybe.
there's part of us that thinks, well, is he investing in the infrastructure of the club around the look and feel of it and stuff like that? Is he bringing in players on a longer term
Because he's not
payment
expected to be
contracts
here.
because he's putting that little bit of investment in now to come out to make it look more attractive, to try and
by all means.
get that takeover over the line.
By all
So
means.
Joe sends in, how many
Back in a
signings?
dream world, that, innit?
How many signs will it take before apathy kicks in and we all decide to give Bruce a chance?
I
I
already have.
I
so
don't think
I already give him a chance.
I don't think it's apathy. I think it's
There's some real.
it's
hatred
well,
behind it,
there will
some really
there will
bad
be
stuff.
apathy
Look at them
with
ones
some
like
people,
Sky
but
Sportsman, they keep Barley the big lead. He was.
I know him.
Steve Wraith!
Darren. I know him.
Is it- do you
I
know
know the two lads. The
God,
two lads.
man, he
who-
was-
Darren,
Chris.
Darren went in like
Just went off it,
in.
man.
He does.
You know what I mean? So it's.
But
Yeah, a few points there,
fair
like,
play
I'll tell
to
you
him.
that.
He goes everywhere.
Does that.
Well, you can see
Everywhere.
He was the one that arranged the boats to Fulham. You know how there was
Was
like
it, aye?
X amount of boats went to Fulham? He arranged that.
He was really going to tell.
He went for it.
Yeah.
No holds barred on that one.
And Langer's the lad next to him is a good friend of mine.
And look, Edwards, whether you like him or not, like the heat he's been getting just due to the Bruce situation. The every single tweet you're seeing against Luke is just Bruce is this and Bruce is that, and the stuff that they were sending his son, man. Alex Bruce was horrific, man.
Yeah,
some of the stuff he was just awful, man. Awful.
Josh Meredith sends in, will we ever hear from the BZG lads again?
Well, it's a fucking farce, the whole lot, isn't it? Like,
God knows what's going on.
Let's be real. Since the Bruce situation, there has been nothing. Nothing.
Well, there's been nothing since that radio DJ came out and said there'll be a statement tomorrow or imminently.
No. He released that statement.
He released it. So I agree with you.
If it didn't happen, it was no fault of either Ashley or them.
Was that the statement?
That was the statement.
Oh, right.
So I thought it was going to be a real statement, not just like, some character.
That letter and that.
And me worry is now that I think I've been played for a fool, that all this shit came from their side, all on social media to a bloody DJ. Let's be realistic. So they're trying to buy a club, and that's their communication.
That's the equivalent of releasing it to Keith Downey or to
apparently
Pete Graves,
that was their equivalent of what we have was our lot. Apparently. So quickly, Shaw sends in. It's not Fabian Shaw, by the way. He sends in. If the rumoured £90 million budget is true, who would you like to see brought in? I think we've said this a number of times on the podcast. We don't know. We're not the ones making the decision.
Neymar's for sale for 90 million.
We're not the ones.
He's off to Barcelona for 90 million.
I hadn't even heard of Joelinton last week.
They want 2 players, so they can have Murphy's one of them for starters.
2 players and 90 million. We'll give him call back.
It's tough because like this signing here, we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So like this
he looks mint on YouTube.
He does look fantastic. But so did Riviere.
He did, yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Stephen Johnson sends in. So, with the impending arrival of Joelinton from Hoffenheim to Newcastle, what do you think he'll bring to Newcastle?
Pace.
I'm hoping everything Rondon can or did in pace.
I think he's different to Rondon. I don't think
he looks like the full package, you know.
He doesn't look like he's got the hold up play and stuff like that.
I've seen clips where he's holding the ball up.
He reminds me of Benzema.
I've seen clips where he's in defence winning the ball.
Honestly,
did you see that one? What? There's clips where he's in defence winning the ball, and some of the passes that he's pulling off as well, decent passes, through balls left, right and centre. Him and Almiron, if they can get some form of partnership, it could be something special. Power
are massive.
I'm going back to the Pardew season. I'm thinking of Ben Arthur, Bar and Papi Cisse here, like get them back.
We need one more, I think. Like Almiron and him.
We need another one. We need another start.
So if you could get another big player, you've got an £80 million strike force there. Yeah. You know, if that's possible, and then you can start at least try and look forward. Try and think. Because I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited about this lad coming in. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
So Liam sends in. Do you think making a few decent signings will soften the blow of losing Rafa, or do you think the season is a complete write-off no matter what happens?
No, it's not a write-off. Can it be?
If you want it to be a write-off, you can do that. You can make that decision now for yourself. But what enjoyment are you going to get out of it?
I might not get much by following it either, but at least I get what you're saying.
You're giving yourself the choice to at least try and see what happens. And if things go well, great. You can go along and enjoy it. If not, then
so be it.
So be it.
The next one.
People will turn around and say, "I told you so," but
so be it.
So be it.
John sends in, if no walkout boycott / action taken now, then when will it happen? He also says, love the podcast.
Thanks.
So I'll put the question. It hasn't been sent in, but I'll put the question out. Obviously, last week there was talks of boycott Arsenal, which is up there. It looks like the majority of fans and fan groups are on board with it. If things don't change massively, this is the same position we're in before kick-off of the Arsenal game. I'll be outside the ground.
So what's got to change then for you to go?
You're looking at a lot of money spent.
Right.
You're looking at vast improvements in the team, just solely in the team.
Well, there's one in a minute.
There's one in the minute who's replacing Rondon, I would say.
Probably. Yeah.
Bruce has got to try and, as difficult as it's going to be, he's got to try and get fans on his side.
Do you know what the club need to start doing? And I've said this for the last few seasons, and I'm not just saying this because we've got a YouTube channel and podcast. The club needs to start interaction with fans that have got a platform. You see that every other Premier League club. Liverpool is a prime example. They've got constant links with the likes of Redmen TV and Anfield Rap, where they get fans on board.
Do you think? I agree, but
getting fans on board.
Everything's good for them, though, isn't it? Liverpool is good. They're great.
It is. But getting fans on board, what does that do? Get other fans on board. It depends what's happening in the club. If you can convince some person that everything behind the scenes it is going well, and that they're excited for the season coming up, then that might start filtering down. At this moment in time, right now, it's a concrete wall between fans and club.
Without any doubt. The communication's been disgraceful over the summer. Like, as bad as I've seen any club run ever in my life.
And I'm not just saying this because it's us. Like, I couldn't give a shit if I get invited or not.
But my only argument to that is I know what people are like that. As soon as someone gets any type of backdoor opportunity, they just get loads of shit for it. They just get shit for it. It just happens all the time.
Well, something that massively annoyed me yesterday was the club put out a tweet commemorating the death of Liam Sweeney and John on the obviously the flight over to Australia and New Zealand.
Let's remember, they could have easily avoided that and not put anything out. Let's remember. So
they put it out, did a lovely little video and like commentary, like news clips and stuff like that, and like there was people. And bearing in mind, I know Liam's. I'm good friends with Liam's sister, and you know she even went on there and put, you know, that's really touched us. You know, thanks for doing that kind of thing. There was people underneath her comments commenting on the club of, you've only done this to try and get fans on board.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
And things like that. Of, well, this still doesn't make it right. And I'm like, it's not the time.
Yeah,
it's not the time to be making comments like that.
If you've got nothing nice to say about those sort of situations, don't fucking say anything. Just put that one on one side.
Ridiculous.
Well, let that one go. Next week I'll get them.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a lack of intelligence or what, but it's just not.
But it's that whole the mindset of, like, people just can't see any good at all, regardless of what's happening.
Well, on the other side, we're spending £40 million on a player, and people are still pissed off, like still saying that's not good enough. It doesn't matter. No different. Should have done it years ago. Like, come on, fucking hell. Like, you can't. At the moment, nobody can win, no matter what. Like, and the only thing that's going to change that is one thing, and that's results. It's the only thing that'll change that.
100%.
Like you said, no one can win.
But that's why the club needs to go on a massive PR exercise of trying to get fans back on board. And let's not joke about it. It's not going to be easy at all.
No,
they've got a hell of a mountain to climb to try and do that because of what's gone on this summer and that wall of silence that's existed around the takeover, around Rafa, around players going, etc., etc. It needs to stop. Something needs to happen, and whether or not Bruce is that man to start doing it. I mean, obviously we played bingo on his introduction around the fact that
we knew what was going to happen.
We knew what was coming out. Like his local lad, his dad's club, etc., etc. You could tick off everything that you expected to be said, but
I thought he spoke well, actually.
Again,
to be fair, but
he does. Bruce always speaks well, but what Bruce does, it's a carbon copy of the last club he was at. It's the same. And I read something today where they said you'll understand eventually. Every press conference is exactly the same.
But Rafa's were? Rafa's were.
So I'm more going towards McLaren's. You know, when McLaren used to put that fake smile on and say everything's fine, blah 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 blah, like that sort of thing. And McLaren got pelters for it.
Wait, but are you said? I'm not gonna say it.
And that's why
there's no point.
Bruce can't hide behind excuses because that's what done for Pordew massively. And he's already been labelled a yes man and Ashley's man and stuff like that. And he needs to, if he wants to at least try and attempt to get people on side, he needs to show that he's got a backbone and he's got an opinion. And I don't expect him to go on and like Rafa almost did of slagging Ashley off in a roundabout way. He was very clever with how he did it.
No, he never did it.
But
he never did it. He just hid behind fake other words, didn't he? You know, said it.
So the thing that's annoying me recently, obviously, like, I love Rafa bits, I love what you're doing at this club. It's things where fans are saying, "Oh, Bruce just came in because he's a yes man." I was like, why was this not said about Rafa when Rafa came in?
Because it's not the narrative. Doesn't follow the narrative that they wanted.
And I was like,
Rafa knew what he was walking into.
The same as what Bruce knew what he was walking into.
Absolutely. They're saying that I'll have no respect for anyone that takes the job now. Well, it was the same when Rafa took it. It hasn't changed. Nothing's changed.
It's still the same situation.
It's the same club since the day Ashley walked into now, 12 years on. And Rafa took the job.
The difference is Rafa gave her hope.
Of course he did.
Rafa won stuff, and Rafa had a CV behind him that was fantastic. Like, absolutely unbelievable. And we've gone to someone like Bruce, whose major achievement is getting a final of the cup.
But didn't I send you that Sunderland guy, that Sunderland bloke, when he had put on about what all the managers had won that had managed Sunderland in that past. Like
that was a great tweet, to be fair.
Was it Dick Advocate or something? Had won like every
so was
championship game.
Ian O'Neill.
Martin O'Neill
with Celtic and stuff like that. They've won that, but they were shite when they got here.
And then Big Sam had won nothing. He went, I would take Big Sam over them any day of the week. And you look at everything Rafa did win, and it was unbelievable. And yes, it is hard. Of course, it's hard to take. And that is, God, we're coming here tonight, and that flag, that scarf's there, and I was like, oh, Jesus, like it is hard to take. It's awful. But as Mark says, and I think rightfully so, is that we're in this situation now. Either if you don't like it, fair enough, tools down and go away. And I get that. I understand why you'd be pissed off.
I applaud that in some cases.
In my side, I can't do that. That it's in us. It's who I am. I put this on the day. I remember I put it on and I was walking around the day with it on, thinking I still have a sense of pride with it on. It's my shirt. It's at my club. Do you know what I mean? And I'll never not feel that way. I don't think, no matter how bad it gets. And that's just how I feel about it. As shit it is.
I've got fucking Newcastle tattoos on my leg.
Get it off.
That's like I can't remove that.
Mike, that's your shirt.
You know what I mean?
You're part of the problem, Mark.
You look at
your leg is part of the problem. You look at a demographic of Newcastle fans, and you've got to think at least 80-90% of them have got a Newcastle tattoo, because that's how important.
Have you got a Newcastle tattoo?
I haven't actually. No, I haven't. I wanted one.
So on this table, you're the only one.
Yeah, no, but I know loads of people that's got one. Though. I do know loads.
But it's
you should get Bruce's head next to it.
You're the second person to say that.
Really?
The other one was a Macklem as well.
I'm done.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, hopefully if we do.
We're not done with Newcastle though.
No,
we're still.
Oh no, we'll still be here next season.
We're still hanging in there.
The question I know: when do you think we'll do another one? Next podcast? When do you think? 2 weeks time? Weeks time? What do you think?
God knows.
It's 3 weeks to the start of the season. I'll miss the first 3 podcasts.
Oh well.
Because I go on holiday on the the Monday after.
We're at the point where someone asked this question in a week saying, "Are you still going to do the podcast next season?" Of course I am.
Absolutely.
We've been putting money into this. We've got sponsors on board. Of course, even if we don't go to the games, we're still going to be watching the games. Doesn't matter where we're going to be watching them.
That's the other thing. People saying, "Oh, I'm not going to set foot in the ground," but you're still going to sit and watch the games. So you've still got a vested interest in the club and how the results go.
As a three,
if you didn't care, you wouldn't watch it.
As a three in front of the camera, and obviously Adam's behind the camera. You've got Emil, you've got Aaron there, and you've got Andy there. That we're all involved to a certain degree in the channel. We all love the club as much as the next one.
Except Adam, who hasn't renewed his season ticket yet.
And we're at the point now where we're basically. We're going to do this, like I said, we enjoy it. We love the interaction that we get from fans.
I love coming and arguing with Decker.
Of course.
Even though he's agreed with us all
this
night.
Is the only one.
This is the first time we've ever agreed.
It is
first time this has
See,
ever happened.
when Perez leaves, everything's great. I
know.
So his
I had to take Perez out with the bloody frame.
Head, greasy get.
But it's one of those things. We'll be here next season. Like, hopefully listeners and watchers will still be here next season.
No, they're all
things could be a lot worse.
I've come to that terms now, because I'll be honest at the time, has it ever been worse? And I'd probably say it could be worse, couldn't it? It
was worse on that year.
Well, that's what keeps coming back to my head, is why is everyone is at this stage now of like absolute, they're never going to go back again.
Because Rafa, that's what it is.
I get that.
I can remember when I was a kid, when I was starting to go regularly to the Newcastle games before the Hall and Shepherd came in and took the club over. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. We were on the brink of going down into the third division.
Yeah, they're dog days.
You know, and people are saying it's never been this bad. You're only saying it's never been this bad because you haven't seen it. You're not old enough to appreciate what's gone on before, and that's not that's not everybody that listens in this, or just because there is people that are older that have been there.
Yeah.
But I can remember late 80s.
I know, but in fairness to the people that are younger, like, it's not their fault that they weren't alive when it was shit.
Well,
you know what I mean. To them, it is the worst.
My son is 9 in 3 weeks' time.
He's used to this,
and this is all he's known. I mean, I've like. You're talking there about Nolan. I've had to kind of try and explain to him over the last couple of weeks the fact that Rafa's not good, that that's not there anymore. Rondon, that's not there anymore. Perez isn't there anymore, even though I hated him.
Does he get followed by why?
Like he's still, he's like, why isn't Rafa there anymore? Why is Rondon not going to play? And it's like,
I'd put two things. Sorry, I know we're going on here, but there's two things I heard. So that there's a person I don't sit with him, but when I go into the Platinum Club, he's always there first. He's always there.
Dad?
No, and he's called Ken. Lovely bloke, right? And he comes with all of his mates. He's a kind of age, right? And he's been battling with cancer for years, right? And he's over it now, and they thought it was life and death at one stage, but he's through it now. And he said to me that, I come here every Saturday to see my mates because I never know when I'll be able to do it again. And he says, yes, it is terrible, but I will always be here as long as I can be. And I'm thinking, God, who am I to sit here and go, well, you should be boycotting, you shouldn't be here. He's there because it's all he's known as the club since he was 18. I think he's 70 now. And he sees all of his mates are still in. They sit around the table all the time, sitting, chatting and that. And I think, it is like, that's what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? And then my other mate at work, similar to what Mark's saying, he said he wasn't going to be going back. But he said, when I tell our daughter, because she loves the football, and we'll have a really difficult conversation. He came into work 2 days ago, we've renewed. And she said that she loves it and wants to keep going. And he's like, what? I'm not going to trade that time in with my daughter for anybody. And I was like, well, fair enough. That's your reason for going, and that's great. You know what I mean? And I know there's many people who don't agree with that, but I just think you've got to understand and appreciate everybody's angle, I think, like, at times.
No, I wouldn't say, but like, I'll applaud the people that are still going, and I'll applaud the people that leave.
You do what's right for you,
yeah.
But don't shove it down people's throats.
I mentioned this on the last podcast, which people wouldn't have heard because it was only for patrons of the podcast. And I said, the boat I'm in at the minute is, if I was to cancel my season ticket now, if something was to happen in the future and Mike actually left in the next year or two, I physically couldn't afford to go back because I'm on the 10-year deal where my prices stay the same for the next X amount of years.
Level 7.
I would have to disappear. Yeah, I'd have to disappear. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to go to games this season. I could happily pay my season ticket all season and not go to a single game. But then Mike actually still get me money.
He's already had half of my money.
If it's proven a point by not going, then I'll happily not go. Just for the chance in the future he might fuck off, and I can still go back and enjoy it.
I know a lot of people doing that. My gaffer's doing that.
Because just because Ashley is here now doesn't mean he's going to be here next year. And if he's not here next year, I can't physically go and enjoy it because I can't afford to go back. And I bet there's loads of people in that boat.
He could still be gone in the next couple of months if something happens. He could be gone.
He's not going to be
at
gone.
Christmas. He could still be here in the summer.
He'll be here when I'm 50.
Who knows what's going to happen?
So my question was, sorry, before I went on this massive tangent, if we do one next week, say, how many players do you expect we're to bring in, say if we do it next week? So 1 week from now.
Joelinton, I think there'll be a few more arranged.
Okay, so just a
ready,
one. You think
ready
just
to
a
sign.
one?
I think there'll be at least another 3 in the next
week. 7 days. Jesus.
That'd be great. I think 2.
Two max.
But I'd hope for 3 or 4. But
I would say 2 max. 2 max. Yeah. That's including.
There's only 3. When does the window shut before the start?
Same as last season. No, same as last season. Starts the day the season starts. Well, the night. It's not the night before.
It'll be the Friday, so it'll be the 9th of August. That's my anniversary, and then we play the 11th.
So that's like what, 3.5 weeks.
So it's not long, is it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So we've got to get busy quick. Yeah, like if to save any type of face, we'll have to act quick. Because if we don't, we are absolutely fucked.
Yep. Done. Right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks to Guillermo Clothing. Thanks to GEORDIE Gifts for sponsoring the podcast once again. And you'll see all their links in the description below. And you get a 20% discount on the clothing for Guillermo.
You too can look like Christian Atsu.
And GEORDIE Gifts have got some absolutely mint stuff. They
had a great birthday card.
Aye. Rafa birthday card, which Mark couldn't use.
I still got it.
It's some class gifts. But check them out. Thank yous.
Good night.
Adios.